I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. P. Diddy. Alright? Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bull.
Another day. Another shocking revelation about who was at Diddy's parties and stayed silent. Let me tell you about the latest bombshell. Allison Carter, a survivor who just came forward, is describing Diddy's parties as something straight out of a horror movie. We're not talking about your regular intimate gatherings. She's claiming these were satanic ritual orgies. And hold on to your seats because she's dropped a major name in her affidavit of truth. None other than Denzel Washington. Yes, you heard that right. And before you correct me, I know some of you call him Denzel, but his mama named him Denzel, so that's what we're going with. Let me tell you something. There's no escaping this for Denzel because Allie's story is all over the internet. Now, I know what you're thinking. Saint Denzel would never be involved in anything like what Diddy's accused of. Well, honey, let's dive into this piping hot tea, and you can be the judge. After Diddy's arrest, one of the first people to speak up was Allison Carter. For those who might not remember, Allie was actually trending 3 years ago when she first tried to expose what was happening to kids at Diddy's parties. But here's the heartbreaking part. Nobody believed her back then. She lost everything. Her family's home, their stability, everything. They had to rebuild their lives from scratch. She even tried to take legal action against Riverside County Child Protective Services, claiming they were involved, but they just ignored her evidence. But now that Diddy's case has exploded, Allie's back in the spotlight, telling us exactly what she tried to warn everyone about 3 years ago. In her recent interviews and statements, she's not just calling out Diddy, she's pointing fingers at Denzel Washington too, claiming they were both involved in these exploitative activities at these high-powered elite parties. And let me tell you, she's particularly passionate about one thing: how everyone keeps overlooking what happened to the children. She's practically begging us to focus on protecting these innocent lives.
Still not on the subject of the kids. All the adults are covering their asses. All the adults are, I left at a certain time, yet you knew children were there. You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual orgies.
Now let me tell you about this absolutely shocking affidavit that's been circulating online. Ally describes this after party that'll make your skin crawl. The guest list? Oh, it's a who's who of celebrities. Brian Christopher Williams, aka Birdman, aka Baby. Our man Denzel Hayes Washington. Sean Love Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy. And JC Lamone Robinson, aka Young JC. What allegedly went down at this party is beyond disturbing. Ally describes something called body cakes. And trust me, this isn't your regular birthday celebration. She claims they had children lying on tables while partygoers ate food off their bodies. Can you even imagine? But wait, it gets worse. Once everyone was inside and searched, the DJ would start playing music and flash these lights. That was apparently the signal that the doors were locked and, well, things were about to get really dark. According to Allie's affidavit of truth, these poor children were treated like party favors. I can barely say this, but she claims they were placed on tables, waiting to be chosen by partygoers. Once someone was done with them, these innocent souls were just put back on the table for someone else. Allie says she was forced to have relations with so many people that night, she can't even remember them all, and some of her altars hold those memories. The details she shares about this party are absolutely horrifying. Once that music started and those lights began flashing, she says the partygoers went into what she calls a frenzy SL orgy mindset. The setup was apparently meticulously organized, different areas for different fetishes. Some rooms had people engaging in rituals, while others, I can barely type this, had animals involved. Picture this massive ballroom with doors all around the edges, some closed but others open, revealing tables of food, these so-called party favor tables, and God knows what else. Allie's personal experience that night was beyond traumatic. She tells about this top comedian who showed up complaining about doing an hour-long set with no one to hook up with backstage. What happened next is just sickening. She says he broke the no anal and just laughed when she screamed for help. Instead of anyone helping her, she got in trouble. And it gets even worse. She claims she was forced to perform with another girl her age on a table while everyone watched. Then comes perhaps the most disturbing part, and I warn you, this is truly horrific. She describes how they brought in donkeys and burros, forcing several girls to have relations with these animals while everyone watched. When she and another girl got sick and threw up afterward, they were punished by having their faces rubbed in each other's vomit. I mean, how can anyone even conceive of such cruelty?
OMG.
I can't even process this. The thought that people, celebrities including allegedly Denzel Washington, were there watching this happen? How sick can people actually be? Now, I can't confirm if Denzel was at this specific party, but here's what we do know. He has definitely been to Diddy's parties before. Get this, there are reports about one incident where Denzel actually screamed at Diddy saying, "You don't respect anyone," before storming out of a party he attended with his wife Pauletta in 2003. Apparently, they'd been partying until dawn when they saw something that made them leave in a hurry, but here's the kicker. Whatever they saw that night clearly didn't ruin their friendship completely, because Diddy and Denzel have been spotted together many times since then, at basketball games and even at Barack Obama's 2009 inauguration. And here's something that really makes you think. Brandon T. Jackson revealed something fascinating about Denzel. He said Denzel advised him to always leave Hollywood parties 30 minutes early before the devil gets there. On the Breaking the Machine podcast, Brandon quoted Denzel saying, "When we be at the parties, you leave 30 minutes before the devil get there." Now, isn't that interesting? What exactly did Denzel witness at these parties that made him give such specific, ominous advice? Now, let's talk about Allison Carter's credibility for a moment. Some people say parts of her story absolutely ring true, but then she's also made some claims that seem pretty far-fetched. This has led some to wonder if she might be dealing with some mental health issues. And when it comes to Denzel specifically, many people just can't wrap their heads around the idea that he could be involved in something so horrific. But here's where it gets juicy. Apparently, Denzel might not be the saint everyone thinks he is. Let's spill some historical tea. There have been cheating rumors swirling around him since the 90s, but things really exploded in 2003. That's when word got out about an alleged affair with his out-of-time co-star, Sanaa Lathan. And honey, this story is wild. Apparently, Sanaa's phone accidentally butt-dialed someone while she was about to get intimate with Denzel in the back of a limo. Can you believe it left a 3-minute voicemail? The gossip mill even claims she got pregnant but had to terminate it, and supposedly Denzel was promising to leave Pauletta to make Sana and him the new power couple. But wait, there's more. Then came the Eva Mendes situation, and in 2007, there were these spicy reports about Denzel at an after-party for the Mayweather-De La Hoya fight in Vegas. Witnesses spotted him with a young hostess, and word is they spent the night together at some private mansion. Someone else spilled the tea about seeing him 3 times at Firefly in Studio City, always sitting in the back outside, surrounded by 3 young white ladies who were apparently just fawning all over him like he was royalty. But the most scandalous bombshell dropped in 2013 when photos nearly broke the internet. According to reports, there were pictures being shopped around showing Denzel getting cozy on a couch with a young lady. The photo series allegedly showed him grabbing her arm and pulling her in for a kiss right on the lips. This scandal was so explosive that Pauletta reportedly moved to New York while Denzel stayed in Los Angeles. But somehow, just like magic, he managed to talk his way out of that situation too. Looking at all these alleged tendencies, some people are starting to connect the dots. They're saying maybe, just maybe, this explains why Denzel might have been part of Diddy's parties. Sure, he eventually started leaving early. Remember that 30 minutes before the devil advice? But according to these allegations, he knew exactly what was going on behind those closed doors. Here's what I'm personally struggling with, and I know many of you are too. If Allie's allegations are true, how could Denzel allegedly sit there while children were being subjected to such unspeakable acts? How could anyone, let alone someone with his influence and power, witness such horrors and not only do nothing but continue to stay silent about it? It's absolutely mind-boggling. The most disturbing part of this whole situation isn't just about one person or one party. It's about this entire system of silence and complicity. These whistleblower accounts are shaking the very foundation of Hollywood's elite circles, and honestly, maybe it needs to be shaken. Let's be real. We're not just talking about your typical Hollywood scandal here. These allegations go far beyond the usual celebrity gossip. We're talking about serious crimes against children, about powerful people allegedly using their influence to hide unthinkable acts. about a system that seems designed to protect the predators rather than the victims. The question now isn't just about what happened at these parties. It's about who knew, who participated, and who chose to stay silent. And as more survivors like Allie come forward, one thing's becoming crystal clear. This story is far from over. So what do you think about all this? Could our beloved Denzel really be involved in something this dark? Is Allison Carter telling the truth? Or is there more to this story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, because this conversation is just getting started.